Headed downtown to the arena today. No practice. It's just a regular boring OTA we like to call film study.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. My brothers, it's time to show them what we got. Here we go.
Last weekend, the Knicks came to town, and one of their players actually went to town. Unfortunately, I had to worry about guarding the likes of a Carmelo Anthony. It was a lot of fun, but it was a very embarrassing experience. Something along the lines of guarding against a Kevin Durant. Back in Game 3 of the season, when I finally got a chance to play some minutes, it was against this team. And I gave the work to Monta and J.R. Smith. And that's what got me a little used to playing some NBA basketball. But now, ever since then, I've been to an all-star game. I've worked hard on offense and defense, going from weak shooting guards to dealing with the big, physical, athletic, small forwards of the league. And now, this time around, I'm not guarding an Amon Shumpert who only averages about 6.9 points a game. I'm guarding an offensive powerhouse, the top 3 scorer in the league, Carmelo Anthony. And my team is currently at the top of the West. We have over 40 wins already, and we're looking to continue on with that. We want to show them that the first game wasn't a fluke. Carmelo didn't even know my name back then. Now we're guarding each other. This is ridiculous. It's crazy. And he is every bit as fearsome as they made him out to sound. Like, he is just scoring at will. Like, I've guarded people before. As long as I got a hand in their face or I stayed in front of them, preventing the driving lanes to the basket, I was okay. I could do well. But this guy, he was on another level. He would not slow down no matter what the situation is. He was coming off of so many screens, and he just caught those lead passes at such unbelievable speeds. I could not believe that a guy of his size could move at this speed. Well, at least nobody other than LeBron James.
What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer. And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. Knicks lead by 3.
And ever since that moment, we went on a tear. It was a war between the two teams. Just offense, offense, offense. We were throwing alley-oops. We were shooting threes. We were hitting post-ups, put-back dunks. Everything was happening. And it was just ridiculous at how fast the game was moving. The Knicks really looked like a Western Conference team with their run-and-gun style of play. They can move with anybody, and they have the offensive weapons to show for it. Now, me and Carmelo, we just upped our scoring ridiculously in the second quarter. I couldn't stop him. He couldn't stop me. He still couldn't stop me. Like, it's just really hard to play against a person who is that crafty. And I had to use my athletic ability to just outplay him. In the third quarter, we had so much momentum going. I wasn't missing. He wasn't missing. We had half of our team score at that point. It was just ridiculous. It was a matchup for the ages. And they can score in any way, but we're pretty okay defensively. A lot of people talk about Pekovic, but he will block an alley-oop if you try to throw it into his paint. And if you try to throw an alley-oop against us, we're going to try to throw an alley-oop against you. It doesn't happen that often, but we actually do have some jumpers on this team. These guys can go up and get it. They may not have the best, flashiest, most highlight reel-worthy finishes, but they get the job done when they need to. At this point, I was nearing a triple-double. Carmelo Anthony, his score was pretty much as high as mine. I didn't have an answer for him. He didn't have an answer for me, so coach tried switching the defensive matchups, and I got embarrassed. J.R. Smith had a highlight reel top 10 play of the night that night on me. I don't know if it was top 10 because it was on me or just because how it was in the half-court setting, but I'll admit, it was good and I was embarrassed, and I'm never going to let that happen again. I'm never going to let that happen again because everybody came at me on Twitter. And you already know when you have a guy who's leading the league in anything, they want to put you down as fast as possible. But we're playing some good offense, even better than theirs. Our pick and rolls were working effectively. My screen outlets were just perfect. I didn't make all my threes, but it sure felt like it. At least it looked like it. We had so many tools in our repertoire that they didn't know what to do when they close on the three. I drive right past them and get the easy dunk. We quickly showed them that J.R. Smith is not the sharpest tool in the box for this job. It just doesn't work for him defensively. Shumpert was being benched. Tim Hardaway Jr. was inexperienced. And we just had too many answers. They didn't want to tire out Carmelo because they needed his fresh legs for the fourth quarter in the closing minutes. It was a horrific mismatch which allowed for an even greater offensive explosion. Unfortunately, our tired legs started messing up and I got dunked on again. I tried to go slow down Tim Hardaway. I didn't expect the Rook to get up there like that, but this guy, he plays hard, I'll admit that. Had a sizable lead, but I still pushed him out to the 30-foot line because I did not want him to get any momentum inside this fourth quarter. And I put up another one of the SportsCenter's top 10 most unbelievable shots of the season so far. It was ridiculous. I got it past Carmelo Anthony's outstretched hands. He fought for position in the post. I tried to stay in front of him, got a hand up, and this guy, he's just on another level offensively. I don't know what I can say about him at this point. He's just really, really good. And his version of defense is a great offense. He spun off of me off the ball, and he just got to the basket in 2 seconds. It was really, really hard to contain this man. We tried to force him to make bad passes out of double teams. Unfortunately, Kyson Chandler was having a very uncharacteristically good passing night. It was crazy. We tried to get the ball out of Carmelo's hands, he'd get it back into Tyson's. Tyson would get it back into his hands, and I tried to close out as best as I could against Carmelo. He's a deadeye, what can I say? This guy, unless you get a hand on the ball, you're pretty much just screwed. You gotta hope that his hand gets sweaty or his palms get itchy and just misses it on his own at that point. So I tried to go match up against anybody I could that wasn't him. Maybe that would give me a little bit of an advantage. We gotta hold our lead. Because even though we're up by 20, I've seen some amazing things from this man. We can't even get the ball out of his hands on a double team. He just kept going and going. He's closing this game at this point. 19 for 30. I'm having a great game myself. I had the triple-double, but I learned a lot today. Sometimes you can't just stop anybody on any given night. You will have off nights. You will have bad games. Nothing I can do about it. I have to make my defense even more of a priority. It's pretty good at the moment, but games like this, I need to make sure that they don't happen again, especially when the Western Conference Finals against the likes of maybe a Kevin Durant. Or better yet, what if I'm in the NBA Finals and I got to guard a LeBron James? I have to make sure that my defense is on point by the time that comes. And I know I'm a rookie, but I got to do the best I can to put myself in that position. And a real cool moment at the end of this game was that the fans started yelling MVP for me. It was I would love to be one of the very few rookies in NBA history to ever get MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same season. I believe the last was Wes Unseld, an undersized center, and I need to be that guy. I need to be the next one. I need to show the world that I'm not just the next good player, I'm the next great player. And hopefully this game, the rest of the season of my rookie year, is just another footnote on my resume.